What's up, guys? It's Mr. Javid, and today we're back on the Pokemon Showdown server. We're using the worst Pokemon team of all time as we gain back our points from decay and all the shenanigans. But before we continue, I'd like to give a shout out to my man GT853. When I tell you, he came to me about 2-3 months back. I meant to shout him out, but didn't because I wasn't uploading. And you know, he came and he may have been 1500, 1600 at the time. He's like struggling with I don't remember what exactly. Okay, yeah, he was struggling with tilting, I believe. And he was like, you know, he's like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm not gonna do that mindset stuff. And he's like, yo, Jam, wanted to tell your advice on changing my mindset was exactly what I needed. It's brought me success not only in Mons but in real life too. This mindset of losing is good has caused me to grow so much in the past few weeks than I did in the past couple of years of playing. And I hear that all the time. But this same guy got to 1900 and he was stuck between 1500 and 1600. And then boom, a few months later, my man is #1 on the ladder. You know, I can't make this stuff up, guys. Like, guys. And if you want to work one-on-one, click the link down below and sign up. As we're wrapping up this month of boot camp, so I'm doing those again. I'm only taking a few members, so if you're hesitating or anything, don't take too long because you're not going to get another opportunity. Well, you're gonna have to wait another month. So that is that. But yeah, it's such a beautiful thing to see those things happen. You can't guard against Shadow Ball, this guy. My Spadef Dragapult. The reason this is the worst team of all time, it has a Spadef Dragapult. He had the worst sets. I had to modify them a bit because I was like, these are a little too bad. But this Spadef Dragapult actually is going to put in some work here after I overwhelm his Ferrothorn. So that's quite fitting. Ferrothorn guards against the majority of his team, but I'm Fizdef, so I can't even wall the Kingdra. That Kingdra might eat me, to be frank with you. So what I'll do to force the Pelipper out and get a Ferrothorn matchup, I'll Coco. I mean, you could also give me the Seismitoad matchup as well, yeah. But the question is just how I want to take advantage of this. Methinks the, you know, obviously rain boosted surging strikes. I'll CC hard. Good Pelipper play, though I'm pretty confident he's just gonna U-turn out. But him U-turning out means he can't switch in on me next time. Ferrothorn position would be in versus what? Nothing in particular. Especially if U-turns, I punish that heavy with the helmet. Yeah. So you literally die. Almost to rocks, and the positioning of my Ferrothorn is immaculate versus the remainder of your team. I guess you go Tornadus, yep. But you have to commit to a Hurricane or Weather Ball, and you're wasting your rain turns, which you don't want to do, especially if you're Life Orb. So what I'll do is Coco first. He actually taunts, which is a very shocked by. He's gonna leave it in. But because I have my Ferrothorn in the back, I already have that in mind, saying, okay, I'm gonna, what's my Dragapult's even speed tier? It actually goes to Ferrothorn. I can't CC because of the Torn, and I'll get no mileage. So I'm actually tempted to I'm gonna sacrifice my Aegislash because I know he's gonna leave the Ferrothorn in, because I need this Ferrothorn beat down for my surging strikes. Once I can start clicking surging strikes and Thunderbolt, well, I mean, that's debatable. Even the Ferrothorn might not be able to KO my Aegislash. Yeah, it's Spadef. Gets the Spadef drop. Yeah, I figured he might not go for an attack. And depending on what the Crawdon is, Crawdon obviously gets 2 KO'd. My thing is I don't want our Shifu to take a ton of damage. Actually, that doesn't even make sense. He's gonna jet or knock. Him knocking actually helps a bit. He does go Pharaoh. Okay, good play. So Pharaoh is gone. My Urshifu is near gone, but that's not that big a deal. especially since you got no rain up and you can't go for rain. You actually do go for rain. Okay. Surprising. Seismitoad should come in, but you get punished heavily. The funny thing, this random slow ass Dragapult, but because I killed his, this slow ass random Dragapult's actually gonna prevail. I just need to time the rain well with my substitute and all that stuff, so it's gonna be really funny. Mandibuzz also is like super good right now. Do I actually wanna? Part of me is like, well, because what I also want is the Spadef actually guards well against his Kingdra, so he's expecting me to sack my my Urshifu here, and he's probably gonna go for rocks. And so then I'm looking at a situation with the Weather Ball, and I could go to Pult and just kill him, and then I'm staring down Kingdra. But because my Ferrodorn is my Ferrodorn, Hispanic, Ferrodorn, is Fizdef, I don't want to play too much with that. Though I low-key, high-key win with Thunderbolt afterwards. Okay, I'll just make the obvious decision. He does Weather Ball out of fear of me. Can't guard against T-Bolt after this. The reason I'm gonna go Pult is I know he's gonna stay in, and also yeah, I did nothing, so I can't even take the Kingdra Surf. But I know he was gonna stay in because he can't guard against Pult. If I went to anything else, he'd switch. If I went to Ferrothorn, he'd go Torn, and I have to react again, which is gonna put me back in the same situation because he's likely going to U-turn or double switch back to the Seismitoad on my Coco, and then I got to guard against the Seismitoad again. If I went to, what are my other options? If I went to Mandibuzz, same thing. Very surprised at the Torn, considering, you know, like Coco just kills you here. So I'm wondering if he has something up his sleeve. Rain has about 4 turns left. I want to keep this. And I want, I don't think Weather Ball could kill me without a, I'm going to go hard Coco here. Yeah. I think Pult is just too big of an issue for you to be playing these games. Oh, my terrain ends. So I'll just roost as he U-turns. He actually goes hard Kingdra. Which is good. You're gonna see why in a sec. I'm just debating whether or not I want to give Mandibuzz up like that, right? I mean, because he's gonna lose a lot of his mons, but Mandibuzz can actually take a hit, you know, whereas Aegislash after spikes might die to, but offensively it's harder to guard against. I'll give up Aegislash. I don't think he would survive. Yeah. And so this allows Ferrothorn to come in. I can Leech Seed because Torn should come in. Yep. And now that your rain is gone, you don't want Coco coming in. It's not like you can do anything about it. Yeah, you can't do anything about it. If you go Pelly, I didn't. He goes Kingdra. Okay. Very surprised by this. So if I Dazzling Gleam and get rocks up, is it over? No, let's wait. Here we go. He has Ice Beam. Okay. Oh, that's not great. It's not great, but it might end up paying off. Because now he gets to go to Pelipper. I should have went Pult here and subbed and killed his Pelipper. Yeah, I actually don't like how I played this endgame. Ice Beam did throw me off, but that's not a sufficient enough reason. In fact, I'd never factored in that the Torn Taunted, it can't be a Soul Vest. Right, so the Pelipper gets sacked, no surprise there. So obviously Kingdra comes in. So if I was Spadef Ferrothorn or had leftovers, I'd be straight. Oh wow, I ate. That was a good eat right there. But it does mean Leech Seed if I connect excellent. So I can stall. Because what I need to do is stall so that the Crawdaunt can't boost. And it dies to... It can't knock me out with Aqua Jet either. So I need to stall out the rain. Surf is doing 37%. He's gonna do another 37. I just don't know what Power Whip would do. I want to say with knock he wouldn't be able to knock me out. Yeah, so knock off did 23. Yeah, he can't kill me, which means he has to go to Torn, which is perfect. Actually no, that's not perfect because he's gonna get to U-turn, so I get to go hard Coco here. Yeah, which I'm outside of Aqua Jet range, should be at least. Should be outside of jet range. Right. Which allows me to roost up on Torn and 1v1. I don't like how I played that game, but whatever. I really don't. I mean, you hitting a bunch of hurricanes and confusing me. Like, what are the odds of that? Oh wow, with the terrain I would have killed. Yeah. So I played that. You know what I should have done instead? I should have doubled down more on the Dragapult once I killed the Ferrothorn. I didn't think it would take the surf that well. I mean, it's Spadef Pult, and I don't want to run a bunch of calcs. But had I doubled down on Pult, like for example, him Ice Beaming was a really good play. I did not expect Ice Beam, so I actually thought, well, I can just go Mandibuzz. I survive any 2 hits, which puts him on the back foot immediately. But once he Ice Beamed, I was like, oh whoa. But the funny thing is, if he Ice Beamed my Coco, it wouldn't have killed. So that's the thing. But yeah, so we're gonna play this guy real quick. Very weak to water. Well, he has a Rillaboom, but that is no Urshifu counter, as we all know. Pulse good. Damn good. Damn good. Aegis Slash is damn good. All these things are damn good. Very, 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 very Mandibuzz weak. In fact, Mandibuzz solos his team. Damn near. My 2 ghosts. So what I'll do is get my rocks up early. Get the bands going early. I'll kill this Victini early. Unless he U-turns out into Coco. Bolt Strikes. Bandit Bolt Strike. Wow. So here he's gonna pivot to what? Doesn't matter actually. Ferrothorn is always the play, unless he has Flamethrower, which I suppose you should expect. He forfeits. I guess he doesn't have Flamethrower. I'm surprised the Victini took a foul play. What are these? Well, let's run through these real quick. Have fun, bro. Dude has a mad cool team. Terrain, expanding force terrain. Like, I really like Dragapult in this one. I'd have to get rid of Ferrothorn, but Dragapult is like, if that Buzzwole does not have like a Ice Punch or something of that night, I mean, why wouldn't it have Ice Punch? Thanks for watching despite my inconsistency. Oh yeah, we'll double down on Mandibuzz here for everything except three things. So half his team, Ferrothorn guards well against the Flygon. Oh, it might not guard well against the Flygon. But my aim here is to try to sweep him with my Koko. And for me to do that, I need to chip down on his Ferrothorn, and overwhelm him with Aegislash. For me to overwhelm him with Aegislash. So first and foremost, I actually did not expect Ferrothorn to be the go-to guy. I'm gonna hard switch here. You're like, oh damn, just attack. You don't know this guy. You don't know his. Nobody's leaving their Ferrothorn in here to just get waxed. I do want to know what his Buzzwole's item is. He might leave it in to get waxed. So it is helmet. I figured as much, but I needed to know for myself. Buzzwole's, like me positioning me, so right here I'm expecting either I'm gonna be a bit more aggressive than typical here. I'm CC again. I should roost. My Aegislash coming in there would have been a huge problem. So he's probably gonna go to the Heatran now, but because of how aggressively I did that, like I was expecting, well, you know, you don't want my Ferrothorn coming in. CCing again is the play, but I'll just go Aegislash. Yeah, that was telegraphed. Very, very, very obvious Ferrothorn switch there. But I thought the better time to roost would have been actually the better time to double would have been last turn, because you didn't take much damage. So it would be far less likely that I'd double CC that turn. That turn was super obvious. It's just a question of, okay, do you understand the value of your Ferrothorn in relation to my Tapu Koko and how dangerous that is? I don't know enough about his Pharaoh, so it does knock. So he does understand the value, and it is leftovers. So we do want to remove this thing's item. We don't want him to be able to recover his health at all, as he's packing spikes. That's cool. It's not great, but it's cool as Heatran comes in. Now, because of the play I made with Urshifu, this actually makes it a far more difficult circumstance. So now it's like, okay, well, you know, what do you do with the Urshifu? My Pult is nice, and I don't want to give it up. But as I said, I put myself in an awkward position. Because now if he hits the Magma Storm on my Urshifu, it spikes up, I might die. And Urshifu is far too big of a player to just give it up like that. But he has to hit Magma Storm, which is a big if. I'm just curious as to what the Buzzwole has as a secondary move. But why wouldn't it be Ice Punch? You know, like what else would you use? So I might have to defensively win this game with Mandibuzz plus Aegislash plus maybe Pult. So it does Magma Storm. It does nothing. It seems like, why would you ever sub here, Jam? Which is a good question, but I think Magma Storm plus Phantom Force. I don't want him toxicking my Dragapult. I'll go actually Shifu here. He might rocks the Earth Powers. I'll take it. So I'm glad I actually went to Shifu there. Yeah, obviously I punish Buzzwole heavily. Well, no, I don't. So what I'll do here is pivot to Koko. Even if he double attacks here, it puts me in a good spot. So this allows for me to Thunderbolt and punish that Ferrothorn heavily. Every time the Ferrothorn gets a T-Bolt, it can't recover. Cannot recover its health. Which means Ferrothorn, what's his face, is getting more and more dangerous. If this Ferrothorn goes, or if I knock off that Buzzwole's item, yeah, so he spikes, good play. I just Leech Seed spam here. Me can spike up, gets all layers, good. Good. I probably should knock off. I just know if I Leech Seed, then I shut down the Tran too. Okay, so he's Leech Seed spamming too. Okay. That's fine. So I'll knock here 10%, cool. Because soon what'll happen is he can't switch into Coco. Yeah, can't switch into Coco any longer. And so him Leech Seeding, good. And I've stalled. I'm gonna stall out more Leech Seeds than him. So I'll Stealth Rock spam until I condition him into going for, yeah, so now he's going for spikes. Good. Soon I'll condition him to either switch or spikes up. So each use 10 Leech Seeds. Yeah. Once I condition him to spike, so he Leech Seeds there, good play. Then I get the free switch into a couple things. Could be Aegis Slash. I kind of don't want to go random, like just rogue into my Aegis Slash. Peak gameplay, indeed. So we'll knock here again. That way I can actually go hard top of Coco, which is a far harder mon for him to deal with. Yeah. So now I can just Stealth Rock spam. Okay, excellent. So he got impatient. The problem is, again, my Mandibuzz is a huge issue. So, yeah. Like, it's such a big problem. And I just defog all your hard work away. Now, my Ferrothorn's still alive, which is good. He goes Buzzwole. Very, very interesting decision. I could Toxic. Like, to me, your play here is always to pivot into Heatran. You cover for Foul Play, you cover for my Aegis Slash switch. There's not too much I can do about that. Yeah, like the Heatran play was telegraphed, but there wasn't too much I could do about that. It's just a matter of, okay, are you Ice Punch Buzzwole or not? Because my Dragapult's looking hungry. He's trying to come in. He's trying to do his damn thing. If I save Urshifu, forces Buzzwole in every time. I don't need rocks this game, nor will I be able to keep them anyway. I'd like to have him because, you know, Stealth Rocks plus Heat Tapu Koko is a big issue, but I won't be able to keep him. So I'm a substitute here. I don't think he's gonna expect that for Earth Power not to break my sub. I don't think anybody ever expects that. Ideally, Toxics first. Buzzwole, okay. So, gonna Darts for this little bit of chip. So he has Ice Punch. Okay, that's what I figured. So now he has to heal. Yep. And we get to hammer away on his Heatran. Flygon. Spadef Flygon. Interesting. So the Flygon is gonna roost this turn. Man, actually, him having Spadef Flygon is a big issue. It's actually a really big issue. Might not be able to win this then. My Aegis Slash has Toxic, so I won't say that. But I have to condition him quite a bit I do wish I had knock here. So I'll go Pult. So he has U-turn. Okay, I wasn't certain. So Lele comes in. So this is obviously choice scarf to Lele. You wouldn't go that confidently into it. So he does. So okay, he's confidently going into Flygon. Got you. Got you. So we'll position Dragapult again. Yeah, Dragapult. Dragapult. So we're gonna have to, yeah, like this is a really difficult game. Him having Spadef Flygon is a bitch. So he Ice Punches. I'll Toxic here since I've conditioned the Flygon to come in. Now you can't just switch in and chill. The question is just how slow the Flygon is. It could be slower than my yeah, so now he goes to Heatran. So yeah, this is, I don't say it's impossible, but it's pretty hard for me to win. You know what I could have done? No, but he switched the Buzzwole out into Heatran. If I Toxic'd his Buzzwole, but it's Scarf Lele, which makes it harder for my what we can do is pivot to this. I don't know if his Heatran has Toxic. The way he's playing is as if it doesn't. But he has no reason not to just go hard Heatran here. I mean, I'd have to hope he chokes and leaves it in. If I Toxic and he goes to Heatran, I lose a lot of momentum. He was gonna choke and leave the Buzzwole in, which wasn't a good play. But and you see, why is homie trying to choke the game away? Because he's been playing well with this. Like, if he just chokes and gets me Toxic this Buzzwole, he makes the game far harder, because now you're dealing with Toxic and Phantom. Like, that was like the one way you could allow me back into the game. And he's being unnecessarily aggressive, which, I mean, if he's winning, I don't mind. But what I'm saying is, as the viewer, he could literally switch back and forth and I can't beat his team. So I don't like, especially as a viewer, and if you're watching this is something to pay attention to, which would likely get you out of the 1600s. But if you have the defensive advantage, meaning if I go Coco, you have a wall. If I go Mandibuzz, you have a wall. If I go Aegislash, you have a wall. I go Dragapult. All you need to do is switch and be patient. When you start to get fancy, right there, if I Toxic your Buzzwole, or if I have like a fucking, I don't know, Brave Bird or something, and you lose this Buzzwole, you now opened up the game for me when they're needed, like matchup wise, I have no shot. And so because he did that, I am going to aim to see if I can get him to choke. He does have the capacity to choke, because he did that just now. That gave me a lot of insight. So I'm gonna really ramp it up with my Aegislash. I mean, with my Tapu Koko. Because it was just completely unnecessary to make that play. Completely unnecessary. I can never attack you with Urshifu because I died to the Rocky Helmet and the Surging Strikes and all. Like, there was just never a reason to make that play. So as I said, it's gonna open me up a bit. I assume Flygon would be maybe have a little bit of speed in him. Yeah. Come on. What? Yeah, I should have just went for broke. I guess I didn't have really I wasn't gonna win playing it safe, so I should have just went for the choke on him letting me Toxic Buzzwole. So in the end, it's still my fault, because he gave me the opportunity. But as I said, I'm gonna be hyper aggressive with this Coco, like hyper aggressive with this Coco. Heatran, yep. And we're gonna beat this Heatran down. Matter of fact, expect him to Stealth Rock Earth Guard though. that doesn't matter as much. One would assume, okay, Jam's gonna U-turn here, because now depending on the Flygon, so the Heatran is weakened enough to where it can't switch in twice on my Coco. Obviously, does my Spadef fell. He Magma Storm. Okay, that's good. That's good for us. Buzzwole is high enough to where it could take a hit. He might have Taunt as his other move, honestly. So I'm gonna D-Dance first. Yeah. And Dart's hard on his Buzzwole. But that's what I said. Like, if you play two, so I'm doing 30 something per turn. So let's see. I've shown substitute, so you're not comfortable. Because I'm a very bulky Dragapult, the Ice Punch might not even 2-hit KO me. Oh, it's close. Oh, it does. It does way too much. Now the question is, do you Ice Punch again? If I crit one Dart, because I guess because I'm more Fizdef invested. If I crit one Dart, I got him. Or I can go off. If I crit one Dart, he loses. Or I go off Hard Age. I think he's just gonna go for Ice Punch. Yeah, he's too shook. He's way too shook right now. Ooh. That's a critical hit. Yeah. But now, Mandibuzz is actually positioned for success. I'll go hard. Maybe just Dragon Darts. The Heatran is way too high on health for my liking. But it should be slower than my Slash. So I'll CC here. Lele. Just Moonblast spams. Let me think. Coco. I mean, the game's over for sure. So at that Toxic Buzzwole, you can see how differently the game would have played out if this Buzzwole was poisoned while my Dragapult Dragon Dance. The game would have been lost. But if he does what he's doing now, which is just making the correct switches, like, he wins every time. So yeah, Sax is Heatran here, I'm sure. Sax Buzzwole. Oh yeah, Buzzwole loses to both mines, of course. Yeah, this game. GG. But yeah, if you're watching this, remember what we just talked about. You never want to just go around bouncing around trying to make a bunch of predictions. You find out where your strong points lie, and then you play towards them. Because the matchup for you was, I wouldn't say unlosable, but it was very difficult for me to win that. Unless, do you have a Ghost Resist? You had a Flygon. So unless I had like a Specs Pult, like another Pult set, or a offensive Dragon Dance Pult, then, you know, it'd be pretty hard for him to win. But with that particular, when you found that out, you want to keep your Buzzwole out of harm's way. Out of harm's way at all costs. And thinking back, I should have just CC'd his Ferrothorn. The game would have been far easier had he not had Ferrothorn, a Spike, stop my Leech Seed, all that stuff. So yeah. So this is a situation where we identify immediately no Ghost Guarding, right? Rocks, so Ferrothorn, it's damn near impossible to kill. In conjunction with I guess depending on his Corviknight set, I need to knock the Corviknight off, and that seems to be his defogger. Methinks so. I mean, he has quite a few weak spots, but he has like Coco destroys him without Lando, right? Urshifu destroys him without Rocky Helmet. I'm assuming it's Helmet. He slash destroys him if it's not Spadef Corviknight. So all these little nuanced destroyers. But certainly this bad boy right here is the hardest thing for him to guard against. Since I have a Mandibuzz, which is super rare to see in OU, as he Draco Meteors, that blows a lot, because it just gave the free reign for Ferrothorn to come in, and if you're like a banded superpower set or anything of that nature, it gives me free reign, especially because I'm still Helmet, so you get punished heavily. I'm gonna go Buzz to find out what set he is. So it goes Lando. I know he's gonna feel I know he's gonna try to toxic me. I'm just questioning it whether or not me toxicking him is worth more to me than him toxicking me. I think so. Oh, he doesn't even. Okay. No, that's perfect. Oh, that's perfect. That was a horrible trade on my. As I get back up and like start, I guess, quote unquote, reteaching. This only matters if it's faster than me. Well, it's definitely faster than me naturally. Whirlpool would be problematic. Because what I'm thinking here is I could toxic this, which would... No, I couldn't. I still wouldn't sweep, because depending on what the Corviknight set is, with the DD Pult, if he's Whirlpool, Moonblast, and I toxic him, he taunts, shuts me down, and gets rid of my Mandibuzz, which is not a good trade. Nature's Madness isn't. I think Coco is just always the best player. Yeah. You turn out. It just depends if it's banded, right? If it's banded, obviously poses a little more trouble. Just thinking whether Urshifu is worth. I know Urshifu eats anything. I know he's never Thunder Punching. But he switched out of Ferrothorn last time. Banded. Since Ferrothorn is so difficult for him to be unwise for me to just throw it in there just because I think I can predict him. That's just not how you play. But I am somewhat wary of an Earthquake. So I'm going to mid-ground Urshifu. I don't need it to be at full for any particular reason. Double Iron Bashes, that does not look... Yeah, Urshifu has really good defense and really high HP. So there is a part of me that could be banded, but, Corviknight says Helmet, yeah. So I was tempted to CC for that very reason. Because he could be banded. Now, this is where stuff gets interesting, because most would say, okay, well, you go Coco and offensively check. But I could get far more mileage out of going Ferrothorn. See that? See that right there? See that right there? So, no matter what he goes for, unless he's T-Bolt or he Dracos, Buzz eats. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa, that was a false statement. Whoa. Anybody else expected the parry there? So on a Pult with leftovers, what would your initial switch be? And does it matter? Doesn't matter, no. Coco is always going to be my play there. And because of the Toxic, I can Thunderbolt freely on the Lando. I think so. Toxic, Stealth Rocks. Would I do 30%? I'll just Dazzling Gleam. I would have. I knew he'd never stay in there, but even if he did, it was a low risk play for me with the Finny on the Electric Terrain. is just not an ideal situation for the opponent. And now, no matter what the muse set is, oh, maybe that's false information. Maybe that's false news. What does this do? And my Pult is actually slower than, it's like not even base 100. Like, it's crazy stuff. I can tell he's getting desperate, which is good. Push come to shove, I'll start sack Ferrothorn for let me go Buzz. Sucker Punch. Okay. So what do you have to hit me then? Drain Punch. Okay. Sucker Punch is all you got. I toxic you. So he has Psychic Stab and Sucker Punch. Okay. Which means you Zen here. I mean, you could Drain Punch. I think you Sucker. Toxic again. Psychic Fang. Whoa! 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 Whoa, my guy. Whoa. It's doing a little too much. So now this is actually pretty risky for me, because I could go to Ferrothorn and punch this heavily. And then just sack back the Aegis Slash. Because right now my end gamer is likely that Dragapult did way too much. He's modest, so which means Coco destroys. I just wish my Pult was fast. I think faster than a Mew, but I think he doesn't know I'm spexed. But I mean, based on that damage, you might conclude that. And if he gets the Drain Punch off, that's a big fucking deal. I mean, I can still win. I can still win even if he gets the Drain Punch. But yeah, I figured not. So that's all I needed. Shit, Psychic Fang again. Got him. Got him. Yeah. Okay, excellent. Excellent. I understand the need to Drain Punch there. Aegis Slash, I mean, it's far from useless, but I believe, well, with a Helmet Core Finny, I think I get more mileage out of Aegis Slash versus that Melmetal for sure. So Coco should outspeed. I'm pretty sure this is modest, but even if it doesn't, what is he gonna go to? So that's Assault Vest, which means he's not confident in beating my Ferrothorn. The way he's playing this, I don't think EQ 2-hit KOs me. Because what I'm setting up for obviously is the Coco win. Let's say EQ's here and I go to Aegis Slash dies. I go to Ferrothorn, I Leech Seed as he goes to Pult. I then have to go to my own Pult and the Melmetal is still alive. I don't think an Assault Vest EQ kills to a KO, so he bashes. Yeah, that's all I needed. He bashed. Not respecting that Ferrothorn. And I still get to Leech Seed actually. I still don't think EQ. I'm max defense damn near. Rocky Helmet is a motherfucker for Melmetal, man. You lose all your health, yeah. So the Mel is gone, which means Coco just destroys. So, you know, we learned a bit from our last mistake. Heatran is a problem for us. You know, that could be justification to have knockoff over foul play. Because at the very least you remove the item, and you know, with the combination of stealth rocks and repeated switching, you can eventually overwhelm. Ice Beam, huh? Is he Scarf? Don't see an item. Let's assume so. Doesn't have a switching for Shadow Ball anyway. Okay, so he wasn't. He's Assault Vest. Interesting. think he still die. Even if he doesn't, I mean, what is he gonna do? But I suppose if the Pult is not modest, and I'm thinking he's modest, I could lose here. So you know, there are a couple out, because what the Pult could do, let's say he's not modest, he could U-turn. I think I banked too much on him being modest. The Fire Blast just did so much to my Mandibuzz. Maybe that's just normal damage. Pult is not a strong mono. I had a lot of Spadef. Oh, that's nasty. That was nasty. So it depends on if this has Brave Bird or not. Yeah, it does. Because now my Coco is within Spec Shadow Ball range, I believe. So I'll darts on the out chance he BBs again. Okay, excellent. So now it doesn't matter. I'm outspeed Pult, and you can't. His play there was to roost. But I understand, like, a lot of these are like mixed and stuff, so I understand. What's the okay? So now the Finny, you being Assault Vest, it's not gonna save you. Should die. I have 414 attack. Should faint. Excellent. Then we just darts this. Oh, I forgot about the weakness. Yeah, I mean, there's no way he was living, but you know, I just blanked on that. Actually should not be playing another game with this team. It's 44 minutes in. I'll end it there, and we'll continue our journey with another fun team. So if you want to leave a team, drop it in the description down below. I'm looking forward to it. Leave it in the comment section. Click the link in the description and drop it in the comments. You know what I'm talking about. There's a place to post these teams. Link in the description. Drop it on my Smoke On profile. Excited to use a lot of your fun teams again. Excited to miss y'all, man. You know, I was reflecting on that. I miss you. And so, just give me some time to get back in the groove of things. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.